Hello and welcome to the second day of our virtual Congress. Thank you for joining us on this panel discussion on the future of the seed sector. The COVID-19 pandemic has taught us how a health crisis could affect global food production. Seed is a foundational contributor ensuring food security. We put together this panel session to better understand our joint capacity to support sustainable food production and to take a closer look at the future prospects of the seed sector from companies in Africa, Asia and Europe. To support a sustainable food production and to have a look into the future, it is essential to have also the vision from the farmers. Therefore, we are very happy that the farmers' organization is contributing in this debate. Today, we are joined by a diverse set of speakers who will share their vision of the future. We have Marco van Leeuwen, Managing Director of Zwaan and Vice President of our Federation. We will also hear from Usha Barwale, Zehr, Director and Chief Technology Officer of MAHYCO, former Chair of the International Seed Federation Breeders' Committee. Our friend David Malan from South African seed producer Klein Karoo will also speak. He is the President of the National Organizing Committee of the ISF World Seed Congress 2022. And finally, our partner, the World Farmers Organization, will be represented by its President, Theo the Jager. World Farmers Organization is a member-based association bringing together national farmers organizations and agricultural cooperatives from all over the world. WFO is to represent the farmers' voice and advocate on their behalf in relevant international processes. Please start.
Dear attendants, let's take a closer look together to the impact of COVID-19 on the seed sector, focusing on vegetables, but with parallels to potatoes and field crops. First, how we survived. From one day to another, the big question for seed companies was whether the seed sector would be classified as essential or vital, enabling to continue operations, however in an adjusted manner. After some very efficient interventions, it was very interesting to see how quickly governments all over the world realized the importance of seed for food supply. Due to a broad spectrum of lockdown regimes and travel restrictions, we could notice quite some advanced ordering, whereas logistics became a very big and very expensive challenge.
Eight weeks into the lockdown, I'm amazed that we have been able to move seed to the market and ensure adequate availability for our smallholder farmer, who are getting ready to plant in the coming weeks as the monsoon is expected to arrive on time. The timing of the lockdown any worse. Farmers were harvesting their winter crops. The seed industry was busy with procurement of production material and operating processing plants at full capacity to get seed ready for June planting. Immediately, there was drastic reduction in the workforce. Plants started operating at less than 50% capacity, and the highways became deserted. This meant no trucks for movement of goods to the plant or to the market. With a lot of effort, despite agriculture being essential, we managed to get permissions needed for operations and continued activities at much lesser capacities.
The impact on our economy is much more severe, and in a country where unemployment is already very high, we increase huge increases in joblessness and also in poverty, and this will take a long time to recover. When lockdown was announced, the Minister of Agriculture met with agricultural leaders, and this resulted in the forming of a task team to look at food security and food supply on a sustainable basis. Based on this, most companies was declared as critical and essential businesses. But in South Africa, we are also very fortunate that the South African seed industry is very formalized, and with structures like SANSOR, our national seed organization, and also the Agricultural Business Chamber, that could talk directly to government on behalf of seed companies. Therefore, seed companies could continue as critical and essential businesses.
Good day. It's a privilege to address the ISF conference again this year. We all became used to the strange phenomenon of meeting digitally and not eye to eye because of the global COVID pandemic, which saw lockdowns on more than half of the world. Farmers were not locked down though. We were mostly allowed to continue with business, although it was not business as usual, simply because our value chains, our markets have been severely disrupted. And everything that was meant to end up in restaurants and canteens, the informal sector, hawkers on street corners and school feeding schemes, got caught up before the farm gate.
You've heard the opening statements from our very interesting lineup of speakers. And now I would like to invite you to join us as we bring back our speakers in the live panel discussion that immediately follows. You can also join the conversation or ask questions via the live chat. So please join us in the next part by clicking on the live session right after this. See you in a moment.